Hi students. So we are discussing yesterday in the last class we discussed about work energy theorem and I explained some examples. Okay. So far we discussed work concept, energy concept and power concept. These are the things so far I explained. Okay. So this potential energy I explained and kinetic energy I explained. These are the things I explained so far. Okay, what is the potential energy? Energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position. Okay, it depends upon position of the particle or body. Potential energy. Position changes, potential energy changes. Okay, so kinetic energy. The kinetic energy, what is kinetic energy? Energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. Okay, so if the body is in rest, its kinetic energy is zero. So this kinetic energy and potential energy together we can call it as mechanical energy. So the mechanical energy we can call it as potential energy plus this mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is defined as potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy plus kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. This together we can call it as mechanical energy. Okay. So this mechanical energy is represented with letter E, total energy. The potential energy is represented with letter U. Kinetic energy is represented with letter K. Okay. So this total mechanical energy is the sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. Suppose you want total mechanical energy of the system, you have to summate all the kinetic energies of the individual bodies and their potential energies. We will get total energy of the system. This total energy may be in many forms. Okay, you know that there are so many types of energies. This is one of the mechanical energy. So if you say energy may be many types. Energy may be types of energies. So types of energy. Types of energies. You may find first one is mechanical energy. We are going to discuss mechanics, in which we are concentrated on mechanical energy. The second one is there are so many types of energies. Electrical energy, isn't it? Electrical energy, chemical energy, heat energy, light energy, okay, and so on. Like this. There are so many types of energies we have. The energy converts from one form to another form. So we know this law, these types of energies. Say in battery, what is chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So in heater or greaser, what it does? Electrical energy converted into heat energy. Okay, light energy. In bulb, what happens? Electrical energy converted into light energy. LEDs, electrical energy converted into light energies. Okay. So these are different, but this mechanical energy is a sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. Together we can call it as mechanical energy. In this chapter, this energy may be converted from one form to another form. Okay, there is a famous law of conservation of energy. total energy remains constant. Okay, this total energy can be changes from one form to another form. Okay, in this chapter now we are dealing mechanics, so we are concentrated on mechanical energy only. Okay, so what is a mechanical energy? Potential energy and kinetic energy together we can call it as mechanical energy. So you consider a system in which so this conservation of energy. Next one is conservation of mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Okay. Consider a system. Consider a system in which there is no external forces. Consider a system in which external force does no work in that system, no work, and forces involved, internal forces are conservative in nature. Conservative, internal forces are conservative. Then see, work done by these external forces is zero and internal forces are conservative. So work done by these internal forces. So work done by the internal forces. Work done by the internal forces. Internal force. What is internal forces? Are conservative. So I assumed that these forces are conservative forces. So work done to move from 1 to 2 by the conservative forces is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Isn't it? Change in its kinetic energy. Change in its kinetic energy. So this is from work energy theorem. From which theorem? From work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. This work done, since the forces are conservative in nature, that is work done to move 1 to 2 is equal to change in kinetic energy. That is final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Since the forces are conservative, okay. So since the forces are only internal forces are conservative, so work done is equal to work done to move 1 to 1 is equal to minus change in its potential energy. So as we have seen, change in its potential energy, that is minus delta U, that is UF minus delta U. Here I will write it as delta K. What is delta K? Change in its kinetic energy. Since these two are equal, from work energy theorem we have this and since forces are conservative, I will write here, since the force is conservative, we have work done to change position from 1 to is equal to minus change in its potential energy. So this is equation 2. Okay, this is equation 1. From equations 1 and 2, we have what we have. See, left hand sides are equal, right hand sides are also equal. So delta K should be equal to minus delta U. This is very important equation. What is this? This minus sign indicates, this is very important equation. Okay. So what is this minus sign indicates? Decrease in its potential energy, or we can write it as increase in its kinetic energy is equal to decrease in its potential energy. So the same thing we can written like this. Okay. Or you can write it as minus du, bring this side. So delta k plus delta u is equal to 0. Okay. What does it mean? Delta means change. K plus u is equal to 0. So what does it mean? I will write here. Okay. Delta k plus u can be written as E. Delta E is equal to 0. What does it mean? That means V is equal to change in mechanical energy is 0. Change 0 means E is constant. E is equal to constant. Okay. So that means delta E becomes 0 means E is constant. Okay. What is E? Total mechanical energy. So mechanical energy is constant. Total mechanical energy is constant. This statement is called law of conservation of energy. Okay. So what it says that if you consider a system in which there is no external forces acting on it, there is no external forces does no work, and internal forces are conservative, then total mechanical energy remains constant. So I will write this statement. Okay. So this is the statement of mechanical energy. So what is the statement of conservation of mechanical energy? Law of conservation of mechanical energy. Law of conservation of mechanical energy, or simply energy. Law of conservation of energy. Because we are dealing mechanics, so it is obvious that its energy is mechanical energy. So this law of conservation of energy says that statement. What it says? A system, if external force does no work, this is the statement. Okay, if external force does no work and the internal forces are conservative, then total mechanical energy of a system remains constant. This statement is called law of conservation of energy. Okay. This statement is called law of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay. Now I will prove this statement. Proof of this. Proof in case of freely falling body. I prove this one. Okay. So this law of conservation of energy, it is we are going to prove in case of freely falling body. Okay, so the freely falling body, consider a freely falling body, consider a freely falling body. Okay, so from a height h, from a height h, from a height h. So initially this is a freely falling body. So a body dropped from certain height. Okay, so it reaches to the ground. So this is the height h. Okay, this is the height h. So this is the starting point A. So this is the ending point C, where it touches the ground. Okay, starting point A. So in it is freely falling body means initial velocity is 0. So initial velocity at A. So I assumed that point A, initial velocity 0. So what is its kinetic energy? Half mv square. So velocity is 0, half m, velocity is 0 square, you will get 0. So kinetic energy is 0. Then what is the potential energy? Potential energy. Since it is at a height h, its potential energy is mgh. Since it is at a height h, I will write kinetic energy K. Okay, so potential energy I represented with letter U. So mgh. So what is the total mechanical energy? Total energy E is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. So total energy at A is equal to E at A, potential energy at A, kinetic energy at A. That is, potential energy is mgh, kinetic energy at A is 0. So total energy at A is mgh. Okay, so you call it as equation 1. Okay, potential energy is mgh. So total energy is this one. At B, you consider another point, at a point in between A and B. You choose a point B. Okay, so anywhere between A and C. Okay, anywhere between A and C, you choose a point B where it is it travels a distance x from A to B. It travels a distance x. So I want velocity here because I want kinetic energy here and potential energy here. So what is this point B, where it is at a height h minus x from ground. Okay, so consider a point B. At B, where is B? B is a point, B is a choose point at a height h minus x, at a height h minus x from ground. Okay, so B is a point at a height h minus x from ground. So I want its potential energy. So potential energy is equal to potential energy. So it is represented with the letter U. UB is equal to mg h. What height it is from the ground? H minus x. Okay, So it is mgh minus x. This is potential energy at B. I want kinetic energy at B. So for that you need velocity at B. Okay. So to get velocity at B, so I will write here. Okay. To get velocity at B. So to get velocity at B, it travels a distance x, initial velocity is 0. So to get velocity at B, initial velocity that is u0 at A, velocity at B, I take it as Vb. So it travels a distance x, it travels is x, acceleration is plus g, acceleration due to gravity is plus g, since it is freely falling. Okay, its acceleration is z. Now apply v square minus v square is equal to 2as between A and B, So we get velocity at B square, Vb square minus u square. U square is 0. And 2a is g, s is x. So this is Vb square. I want kinetic energy at B. So kinetic energy at B. What is Kb? Kinetic energy at B. Kinetic energy at B. K is equal to, so what is kinetic energy at B? Half mvb square. So that is half mvb square. What is Vb square? 2gx. So 2 get cancelled, you will get mgx. Okay, this is kinetic energy at B. I represented with letter suffix B. Okay. So this is kinetic energy at B. This is potential energy B. I want total mechanical energy at B. Okay. So I will write here at this here. So I will use this space. So kinetic energy at B, so total energy at B is equal to kinetic energy at B plus potential energy at B. Okay. So total energy is represented with the letter EB. Kinetic energy at B is mgx plus potential energy at B is mg of h minus x. Okay, that is mgx plus mgh, open this brackets, minus mgx plus mgx get cancelled. You will get a total energy at B is mgh. Okay, you call it as equation 2. Okay, and this is total energy at B. Now I want total energy at C. So I proved that total energy at A is mgh. At B I proved that total energy is mgh. So I want to prove that total energy at C is also mgh. Okay, what is the C? It is the point where before touching the ground. So you choose another point C. At C, where is C? Just before hitting the ground. Where is the point? This is the point C, where it is just before hitting the ground. hitting the ground. Okay, that is the point I chosen. Okay, just before hitting the ground, that is, it is at zero height from the ground. So what is its potential energy? That is zero height from ground. So what is its potential energy? So potential energy at C is equal to U of C is equal to 0, because potential energy is given by the expression mgh. Here h is 0, so 0 height. So potential energy at C is 0. Okay. Now I want total energy at I want kinetic energy at B. Okay. So total energy I will write here. So potential energy at C is 0. So I want velocity at C. So you apply to get velocity at C. To get velocity at C, apply v square minus c square is equal to 2as between A and C. So we get, so what we get, velocity at C square, initial velocity is 0, that is 2, acceleration is z, since it is a freely falling body, s is h. So vc square is equal to 2gh. Okay, I want kinetic energy at C. Kinetic energy is half mvc square, that is half m. What is vc square? 2gh. So 2 get cancelled, I will get mgh. So what I get kinetic energy at C is, I will get as mgh. So I want total energy at C. So total energy, mechanical energy at C, that is potential energy at C plus kinetic energy at C. So U, total energy is E is equal to, U is 0 plus kinetic energy is mgh. So total energy at C is, so I am writing this one, this space. So total energy at C is equal to mgh. So from this we can say that this total energy is mgh. So you call it as equation 3. So from equation 2 we have, so I will write these equations once again. Okay. So I got the total energy C at A, at B, at C. I will write A, B, C. Okay, at the points. What is potential energy at A? mgh. What is kinetic energy at A? 0. Total energy is mgh, Pe plus Ke. What is B? At B, potential energy is, potential energy I got it as mg of h minus x. Kinetic energy I got it as mgx. Total energy I got it as mgh. So at C, potential energy is 0, kinetic energy I got it as mgh, and total energy is mgh. So from this it is clear that the total mechanical energy of this freely falling body is always mgh, at A mgh, at B mgh, at C is mgh. Hence this law of conservation of energy is verified in case of freely falling body. Clear this one? So this is the statement of law of conservation of energy. So I gave the statement of law of conservation of energy, and I proved this law of conservation of energy in case of freely falling body. Okay, bye. Law of conservation of energy. In the previous class I introduced the law of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay, in today now based on this law of conservation of energy, now we will see some examples to understand this mechanical energy, how it will be conserved in applications. Okay, do you know roller coaster? Do you enjoyed a lot with a roller coaster? Do you enjoy it? Yeah. What is it? A small car moving in a vertical circle. It is falling from a top of a mountain and it will make a vertical circle, isn't it? So that roller coaster, now based on that you will take a small example. Okay, consider a roller coaster. Consider a roller coaster with a circular loop, okay, as shown in the figure. The roller coaster can start from rest. A roller coaster car starts from rest. Okay, from a top of a hill. Which is 5 meters, higher from the top of a loop. 5 meters higher than top of the loop. It rolls down from the hill through the loop. What must be the it rolls down? It rolls down the hill through the loop. What must be the radius of the loop? Radius of the loop. B, so that the passengers of the car will feel at a point, at the highest point as if they have their normal weight, their normal weight. Okay, so this is the problem. So the diagram is given. The roller coaster stop from a top of a, so this is the loop. Okay, this is the top of the hill. So the roller coaster from top of the loop, it is at a height 5 meters. So which is 5 meters height. That loop is at a height 5 meters. Okay. Now see, now you listen. We want radius of the loop. Now you try to solve this problem. Okay. First you understand what is given. Consider a roller coaster with a circular loop. Roller coaster car starts from rest. So here starts from rest. Starts from rest means its kinetic energy is 0. From a top of a hill. Let it be, this is a top of the hill. So this roller coaster car starts from rest and it is falling through this loop from certain height. So it will fall like this, and again it will make a vertical loop as we enjoyed in a roller coaster, isn't it? So when it is falling down, you feel weightlessness. Okay, so when the person is here and at different places, he feels different weights. So when he is at the topmost point, he feels as his weight. So at this highest point, he feels normal weight. What is the radius? So we don't know the radius of the loop, let it be r. Okay. So let r be the radius of the loop. Solution. Let r be the radius of the loop. Okay. Radius of the loop. Circular loop. Since he starts from top of the mountain, here it has potential energy. When it decreases its height through 5 meters, that decrease in potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, isn't it? From law of conservation of energy, as its height decreases by 5 meters, that corresponding amount of energy is converted into kinetic energy. So here energy conservation principle takes place. Here which energy is converted into which energy? When it is at the top of the hill, the system means roller coaster including passengers, possess potential energy when he is at certain height, isn't it? When he drops certain height, so that potential energy, what happens? Decreases. That decrease in potential energy, whatever amount it decreases, that same amount it converts into kinetic energy from law of conservation of energy. So from law of conservation of energy, I want a velocity here. Okay. So that velocity is, so from law of conservation of energy, from law of conservation of energy, we have, okay, decrease in its potential energy is equal to increase in its kinetic energy. Okay, I am using this expression. So what is the decrease in potential energy? mgh. What is increase in its kinetic energy? Half mv square. So m will get cancelled. You will get velocity at the highest point is square root of 2gh. Okay. So what is this velocity? Square root of 2g, let it be 10. What is h? 5 meters. So 5, h is 5. I'll take this one is 5 meters. So 2 into 5, 10. 10 into 10 under root 10. So velocity at this highest point is 10 meters second inverse. Velocity at this point, highest point. Now, what we want, what is the radius of the loop so that the passenger will feel at the highest point as if they have their normal weight. What is the normal weight of the person? mg. So here he feels the weight, apparent weight, it should be equal to weight of the person. So you have to find this weight of the person. So when the object is here, that is a roller coaster, you draw the FBD. What are the forces acting on it? So I will draw this FBD. So here weight of the person acts downwards. I will here draw here only. Okay. So what are the forces acting on the mg, weight of the person, and the surface, the roller base exerts certain force on the person. So let it be n. So and these two resultant together will provide a necessary centripetal force, that is mv square by r. Okay. So here the concept is when car is roller coaster car, when the car is highest point, okay, highest point, the resultant of n plus mg will provide necessary centripetal force, that is mv square by r, where r is radius of the loop. Okay. So I want n here. N is equal to mg. So he feels weight mv square by r. So normal reaction is mv square by r minus mg. You bring this mg this side. Then this is the apparent weight of the person. Okay. So this n is equal to, I will write here. Okay. But n is given as mg. So you substitute mg, bring this side mg plus mg becomes 2mg. So 2mg is equal to, I will instead of n I am writing mg. mg plus mg becomes 2mg is equal to mv square by r. Okay. m get cancelled. So this radius is v square by 2g, isn't it? V square is equal to, r is equal to v square by 2g. That is, what is v? V square is 100, that is 100 or 10 square 100 by 2 into g. G is 10. So jet cancel, you will get 5 meters. So the radius of the loop will be, if it is 5 meters, he feels at the highest point as his weight, normal weight. So this normal reaction will changes from point to point. Okay. Suppose you want here normal reaction. So what are the forces acting on here? Here the normal reaction acts up and weight mg down. So resultant of these two will provide centripetal force. That is what we have, n normal reaction at the lowest point, n minus mg will provide centripetal force, that is mv square by r. Okay. So what is the normal reaction here? From this, n is equal to mv square by r, mv square by r plus mg. So this is the normal reaction feels at the lowest point. So this normal reaction will changes from point to point. Okay. Take this. So this problem is based on law of conservation of energy. You take another problem. A particle of mass, second example, a particle of mass 1 kg, mass 1 kg is moving along y-axis, is moving along y-axis, and a single conservative force, conservative force f of y, that force is a function of y, acts on it. The potential energy of the particle is given by the potential energy of the particle is given by u of y. It is also a function of y square minus 6y plus 14, okay, joules. So that is joules, where y is in meters, at y is equal to 3 meters, the particle has kinetic energy of 15 joules. Now you try to answer these questions. Under that, question number A, the total mechanical energy of the particle is, the total mechanical energy of the particle is, we want total mechanical energy of the particle is, so we have first option 15 joules, B 5 joules, C 20 joules, D cannot be determined. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, how you can solve this one? Let us see. Okay, so a particle of mass 1 kg is moving along the y-axis with a single conservative force. So there is only one force acting on the body, that is conservative force. So here work is done by the conservative force only. There is no external forces. So what happens? Mechanical energy is conserved. So what is the statement of mechanical energy when there is no external forces? If the forces acting on the body are only conservative forces, external force does no work, then total mechanical energy is conserved. That is the statement of law of conservation of energy. Here potential energy of the particle is given. Okay, so potential energy is a function of y. So potential energy is a function of y, is given as y square minus 6y plus 14, okay, joules. So this potential energy is a function of y. At y is equal to 3 meters. So at y is equal to 3 meters, I want potential energy. So what you will get, instead of y, you substitute 3. So what you will get, 3 square minus 6 into 3 plus 14. So how much you get? U of 3 is equal to 3 square 9 minus 6 into 3 18 plus 14. So 14 plus 9 minus 18 plus 14 minus 4 plus 9, you will get 5. So the potential energy is at y is equal to 3, you will get 5 joules. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is given as at y is equal to 5, y is equal to 3, kinetic energy is 15 joules. 15 joules. So what is total energy? Total energy is E. What is total energy? I take it as E. E is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. As I said, total energy is potential energy plus kinetic energy. That is equal to 5 plus 15. So that is 20 joules. So this total energy is conserved. Even though position of the particle changes with respect to time, because it is moving along the y-axis, its position changes as its potential energy changes, and its kinetic energy is also changes, but at y is equal to, but the total energy remains constant. So at y is equal to 3, its total energy is, it has K E plus E potential energy. It is 20 joules. So this total energy remains constant. Okay. Now, so we want the total mechanical energy of the particle is. So answer is 20 joules. Clear? This one? Okay. You take this 20 joules. You take next problem. The maximum speed of the particle is. So I will continue this one. So I want the maximum speed of the particle. Okay. So that is B. Okay. So the next one B is maximum speed of the particle. Maximum speed of the particle. Maximum speed of the particle is 5. First option. I will take, this is the second question. Okay, under this passage. A 5 meter second inverse. B root 30 meter second inverse. C root 40 meter second inverse. D root 10 meter second inverse. Okay. So this is the how you can able to answer this question. Okay. How do you answer this one? We want maximum speed of the particle. As maximum speed means, as the speed is maximum, what happens? Its kinetic energy is maximum. If kinetic energy is maximum, total energy constant, then potential energy should be minimum, isn't it? So from law of conservation of energy, from LCE, what is the LCE? Law of conservation of energy. Law of, this is a very famous equation. In physics, often we are using this energy principle, law of conservation of energy. Of course, it is mechanical energy. Frequently I call it as LCE. What is LCE? Law of conservation of energy. From law of conservation of energy, see, total energy E is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy is constant. As speed is maximum, kinetic energy is maximum, U will be minimum. Since E is constant, since total energy is constant, okay, so U will be minimum. So you find that minimum potential energy. So potential energy is given by this expression. So I want minimum potential energy. So U of y is y square minus 6y plus 14. How do you find its minimum value? Okay, how do you find? As I said, applications of derivative, to get a maximum and minimum of a function, you have to take at maximum and minimum, the first order derivative is 0, isn't it? So first order derivative is 0. So you differentiate u with respect to y. So du by dy you find and equate it to 0. So what is du by dy? D by dy of y square minus 6y plus 14. Okay. So we differentiate this one. What is y square? 2y minus 6 plus 14 constant, you will be 0. So you will get the first order derivative y is equal to 3. So at y is equal to 3, equated to, so dy by dt, du by dy equated to 0. If you find du by dy equated to 0, then y becomes 3. So at 3 is equal to, at y is equal to 3, potential energy is minimum, isn't it? Potential energy is minimum. So to get this minimum value, how you can say minimum or maximum? You check it, second order derivative. If second order derivative is negative, you will get a maximum function. So here second order derivative is, you will get a 2y minus 6. So you will get a 2y minus 6. You will get a second order derivative is 2 of y, 2 positive you will get. So you will get positive. Second order derivative you will get positive. Positive means you will get minimum value. Okay. So at y is equal to 3 you will get minimum value. So what is the minimum value of potential energy? At y is equal to 3, as you substituted y is equal to 3, as you get the minimum potential energy, as we got I think 15 minimum potential energy at y is equal to 3. So first you find potential energy, that is potential energy is y square, 3 square 9 minus 6 into 3 18 plus 14. Okay, as we find already this one, 18 minus 4 plus 5, so 5 joules. So this 5 joules is minimum potential energy. Okay. So what is the maximum kinetic energy? Since the total energy is what we got, total energy is 20 joules and the minimum potential energy is 5 joules. So kinetic energy is I think 15 joules. So from law of conservation of energy, I will write here. Okay. From LCE. E is equal to K plus U. So U is minimum. So K maximum is equal to E minus U minimum. What is U? 20 minus V is 5. So that is 15 joules. So kinetic energy is 15 joules. This is maximum kinetic energy. Okay. We want its speed. So speed is kinetic energy is given by half mv square. Okay. What is K? 15 half m. What is mass of the particle? Let it be 1 into v square. So v square is 30. So v is root 30. So maximum speed of the particle is root 30. Okay, clear? Take this. Next one. Okay, now we want next question, third one, under this third one, the largest value of y, the largest value of y, position of the particle. What is y? Position of the particle. I want largest value of y is, so you have to find. So these are the options. Largest value of 3 plus, first option 3 plus root 15 root 5, B 3 minus root 5, C 3 plus root 15, D 6 plus root 15. Okay. So we want the largest value of y. Largest value of y. As so this potential energy is largest. That means where its kinetic energy should be becomes 0. So total energy is largest value means, largest value of y means we will get this kinetic energy should be greater than or equal to 0. So what is total energy? Potential energy plus kinetic energy. If kinetic energy is 0, if y is maximum, largest value of y, if y is maximum, this potential energy is also maximum. So as potential energy is maximum and kinetic energy should be minimum. Since kinetic energy is always positive, so its kinetic energy may be 0. So what is the maximum value of y? How do you get this? So U should be total energy should be here greater than, total energy is 20 joules. What we want for a particle, its kinetic energy. So what is kinetic energy? From law of conservation of energy, from LCE, we have kinetic energy is equal to E minus potential energy. Okay. So here kinetic energy is always positive. So this is 20 minus U of y. What is U of y? U of y, that is y square minus 6y plus 14. Okay. As this is maximum value, this it should be 0. So it should be greater than, so this is k. Since k greater than or equal to 0, always kinetic energy is always positive. So minimum value should be, it should be 0. Okay, that is the minimum. So as k will be minimum, so this should be, I will equated this y square minus y square, it should be minus y square, it is minus of minus plus 6y minus 14, 20. So you will get 20 minus 14, you will get 6. So plus 6. Okay, plus 6, isn't it? So this is y square, it should be greater than or equal to 0. So it should be y square minus 6y minus 6 should be greater than or equal to 0. So for this, what you will get, you have to simplify this. Okay, you will get how much you will get? 6y square, you will get a quadratic equation. Okay, 6y square minus 6y plus y. Okay, you see, we want the largest value of y. So this y square minus 6y plus 14, this kinetic energy should be always positive value. So k should be greater than or equal to 0. So its minimum value will be 0. So this function y square minus should be greater than or equal to 0. So this value, see, this y square minus 6 can be written as, this value can be written as, I will write here. So this y square minus 6y plus 14 can be written as, see, y minus 3 can be written as y minus 3 whole square. Can I write a plus 5? Because y square plus 9 minus 6y, you will get plus 5. Plus 5 plus 9 becomes 14. You will get seen these things. So this can also be written as, we can write it is equal to y square, y minus 3 can be written as y minus 3 whole square plus 5. Okay, so this value can be written as k should be greater than or equal to 20 minus, so this value can be written as y minus 3 whole square plus 5 of this value, isn't it? That means y minus 3 whole square should be, y square value plus 3 plus 5 should be less than or equal to 20, isn't it? So y minus 3 whole square should be less than or equal to 20 minus 5, 15. So y value should be less than or equal to 15, root 15. Bring minus 3 this side. This is y minus 3. Y minus 3 value less than or equal to root 15. So y value will be less than or equal to root 15 plus 3. So what is the maximum value of y? Is 3 plus root 15. So maximum value of y is 3 plus root 15. Clear? So from the concept here involved is kinetic energy is always positive. Kinetic energy is always positive. Remember this point. You take another example. Okay. Now you take another example. Okay, a block of mass 1 kg, a block of mass 1 kg is released from a top, is released from a top A along a smooth track, along a smooth track as shown. Okay, as shown. Part AB of the circle, part AB is a circle, with radius 4 meters. R1 is equal to 4 meters, and a circle at C, and a circle at C is R2, circle at C is R2, that is radius. Height of the point A, height of the point A is H1 is equal to 2 meters, and C is equal to 1 meter. Take G is equal to 10. Okay, so this diagram is given. See, I will draw the diagram. So there is a circular loop, it will be like this. So this is the circle AB. So this is the part AB. AB is a circle, part of a circle of radius R1, and this is another circle at C. Its radius is R2. Its radius is R1. Okay. So height H1 is, this is the height A. A point is at a height H1. The point C is at a height H2. Okay, this is height H2. Now you try to answer these questions. Okay, the first question A, the force exerted by the block, the force exerted by the block on the track at B is, okay, first option 10 newtons, B 20 newtons, C 30 newtons, D, okay, 40 newtons. So how you can answer this question? Okay, you try to answer this question. How do you answer? See, we want the force exerted by the block on the track at the point B. So this is the point B. So a block is released from a point A, which is at a height h1. Since it is released, its kinetic energy is 0. Since it is released from certain height, it possesses which energy? Potential energy. So when it falls along the track, since the track is smooth, there is no friction, only gravitational force acting on it, which is a conservative force. So its mechanical energy is conserved. That is, its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy at the point B. Okay. So this potential energy, decrease in its potential energy is equal to increase in its kinetic energy. Since this is the ground, here the entire potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Here at the point B, potential energy is 0. Still it possesses kinetic energy. That is, entire potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So I will write from law of conservation of energy, that is from LCE, as we are discussing the applications of law of conservation of energy. So this law of conservation of energy, total energy at A is equal to total energy at B. Okay, I am using this expression. Total energy at A is potential energy plus kinetic energy is equal to total energy at B is potential energy at B plus kinetic energy at B. Okay. So what is, this is at A. So what is potential energy at A? mgh1. What is kinetic energy? Since it is released, its velocity is 0. So it is a freely falling body, its initial velocity is 0. So kinetic energy at A is 0. So what is potential energy at B? 0, because which is at ground level, plus kinetic energy at B is half mv square, that is velocity at B. So this m get cancelled, you will get velocity at B is square root of 2gh1, isn't it? So how much you got? This value square root of 2g, let it be 10, h let it be how much? h1 let it be 2 meters. So the h1 is 2 meters. Okay. So h1 is 2 meters. 2 into 2 for 2, that is 2 root 10. So velocity at is 2 root 10 meter second inverse. So I got velocity. Now I want to force exerted by the block on the track at the point B. So if you want, you draw FBD here at the point B. So what are the forces acting on this? Since it is a circular path, since it is a circular, this arc, it is a part of a circle, it is a part of loop. So it has radius r1. So it has radius r1. What are the forces acting on it? So normal reaction, the force exerted by this track on this one is up, n is up. क्लास में है रे शाह. So 2 square root of, what are the forces acting on the here? When the object is here, what are the forces? This weight of the object acts vertically downwards, weight mg. The force exerted by the track on the block, that is up, normal reaction. Resultant of these two will provide centripetal force to the object. So that is, from that concept I will write here. So h1 is 2 meters, this height h2 is 1 meter, c is at a height 1 meter. Okay. So I will take this space. Radius R1 is 4 meters. Okay. So what is the concept? Resultant of at B. Resultant of N and mg will provide necessary centripetal force. Centripetal force where N is force exerted by the block, force exerted by the track on the block from Newton's third law. This is also equal to force exerted by the block on the track from Newton's third law. Okay, so both are same. We want this N. So from this concept, what we have to, I want resultant of these two. So resultant of these two is N minus mg is equal to centripetal force is mv square by R1. Okay, so I want N. N is equal to mg plus mv square by R1. What is V? Velocity at B. Okay, velocity at B. So I want this. So what is this? I will write here. N is equal to, what is M? 1 kg, 1 into G, 10 plus M is 1 into B square. Velocity at B is, I think 2 into 2, 40 by radius R1 is 4 meters. So N is, this is 10 plus 10, 20 newtons. So what is the answer? B option. The force exerted by the block on the track at the point B is 20 newtons. So to solve this problem, I need the concept of law of conservation of energy. Clear? Now you take another one. On the basis of same minimum safe value of R2, next question. Second one, B. Minimum safe value of R2 so that block does not fly off the track at C is A 1 meter, B 2 meters, C 1.5 meters, D 3 meters. So which option is correct? So now see, as it is falling down the block, here it possesses kinetic energy. With the help of that energy, it again rises to certain height. So we want, it is again a circular path, isn't it? So again as it ascends, what happens? Its potential energy increases in the compensation of kinetic energy. So as it ascends, kinetic energy decreases, potential energy increases. Whatever amount kinetic energy decreases, the same amount potential energy increases from law of conservation of energy. So at this point C, you find its velocity. First you find velocity from law of conservation of energy. Okay, here energy is equal to here energy, which is at a height h. So at this point it has both kinetic energy and potential energy. So I will use this formula. Now once again I am using law of conservation of energy. So otherwise total energy at A, so total energy at A decrease in its height. So this height A is at what height? 2 meters. It is at a height 2 meters. So what is the decrease in its height from here to here? What is the decrease in height? 1 meter, isn't it? 1 meter. So that decrease in its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So once again from law of conservation of energy, decrease in its potential energy is equal to increase in its kinetic energy at C. Clear? So decrease in its potential energy is mg h1 minus h2 is equal to increase in its kinetic energy is half m v square, velocity at c square, velocity at c square. So that is m get cancelled, we will get velocity at c is square root of 2g h1 minus h2, that is square root of 2g, g is 10, h1 minus h2, 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, so that is velocity at c is root 20 meter second inverse. Okay, now here since it is again a circular loop, here normal reaction, here you listen carefully, the minimum safe value of R2 so that the block does not fly off the track at C. So when it will flies off the track at C, the normal reaction will be 0. So when this surface does not exert any force on the block or body, then it leaves off the surface. So its a normal reaction should be 0. So you find the normal reaction here. At the point C is again you draw FBD. So what is the resultant normal reaction at this point? Let it be N in this direction. N will be the force exerted by this surface on the block, N will be mg downwards. Resultant of these two will provide centripetal force. So once again based on that concept, so resultant is N minus mg is equal to mv square, m velocity at c square by r, that is r2. So here n is equal to mvc square by r2 plus mg. So here n should be greater than or equal to 0. N should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, n should be greater than or equal to 0. So what is this value? So mc square by r2. So this velocity, this value, so the weight itself, so n should be greater than or equal to 0. It should not be less than equal to. So the weight n should be greater than or equal to 0 means from this equation we have a minimum value of mg is mg is equal to mv square by r. That means the normal weight itself will provide centripetal force. So that is mv square by r2 plus mg should be greater than or equal to 0. That is m always positive. So vc square by r2 uh, is equal to here weight mgx, resultant it should be n. Here you have written wrong. What is that? N resultant mg minus n, because centripetal force is towards the center. So here you have to write ng minus n, isn't it? Because the resultant of these two will provide the necessary centripetal force. That should be towards the center. So for this arc, center is towards down. For this arc, center is up. So here you should write mg minus n. mg minus n should be mv square by r. So what is the value of n? N is mg minus, so I will, n should be mg minus mv square by r2. It should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay? For what purpose? Without leaving the track. Okay? This is the minimum safe value of R2, so that the block does not leave the track. For that, n should be greater than or equal to 0. That means mg should be greater than or equal to mv square by r2. So that is the r2. So m get cancelled. I want r2. R2 should be greater than or equal to Vc square by G. So what is that Vc square? I got Vc is 20 by G 10. So to get yes. So this R2 should be greater than or equal to 2. We want minimum safe value. We want minimum safe value. So minimum R2 minimum value is, this is 2 meters. So this is the answer. So the answer is, correct option is B. Okay, take this. You take one more. Okay. Work done, see, under that third one. Work done by the gravitational force. Work done by the gravitational force from A to C. We want this is first option 10 joules, second option 20 joules, third option 30 joules, fourth option 40 joules. So this is the problem. How do you solve this one? Okay. Work done by the gravitational force from A to C. Where is A? Here. A is here. Okay, which is at a height 2 meters. C is here. Okay. A to C height decreases, isn't it? As height decreases, here the only one force acting on it. The track is smooth, there is no friction. So only one force acting on that, that is gravitational force. So only work is done by the gravitational force. We want work done by the gravitational force is change in its potential energy. So work done by the gravitational force is minus change in its potential energy. That is minus potential energy at C minus potential energy at A. That is work done by the gravity is equal to UA, potential energy at A minus potential energy at C. That is mg, height at A minus height at C. That is m 1 kg, g 10, let it be h, height at A 2 minus 1. That is 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 into 10 is 10. So 10 joules. So work done by the gravitational force is from A to C is 10 joules. Clear? Take this. So I discussed in today's class few applications regarding law of conservation of energy. Clear? Take this.